Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns and India's G20 presidency in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions. Today, is celebrated as International Allyship Day, which is celebrated annually on August 8, which dedicates the day to celebrating and promoting the power of allyship across the globe. On this unique day, we come together to recognize the importance of standing up for one another, fostering inclusivity, and building bridges of support and understanding. Allyship is defined as the status or role of a person who advocates and actively works for the inclusion of a marginalized or politicized group in all areas of society, not as a member of the group, but in solidarity with its struggle and the point of view under its leadership. Genuine allyship does not come with special recognition. We do not get awards for confronting issues people have to live with every day. It is a day to embrace diversity, celebrate differences, and foster a sense of belonging for everyone. And it encourages communities to show up authentically and work together to create positive change. Networking, workshops, events, community gatherings can achieve engagement, inspiration, and connection to advocate for others in the workplace and at home. Multiple national studies indicate that 4 out of 5 US-based employees are familiar with or have participated in unconscious bias training. This training while being extremely valuable, is only the beginning. International Allyship Day exists to enforce and encourage the practice of allyship. Awareness without action does not move the needle. Active and genuine allyship is about consistency and continuously taking action despite biases to treat all others equally and equitably. So now it's time to tackle equity as we all challenge gender stereotypes, call out discrimination, draw attention to devaluing behaviors, and create inclusive environments. Today is also commemorated as Top 8 Challenge Day in Australia, which is commemorated and is used to organize a fundraising challenge where people are asked to fundraise for research into eosinophilic gastrointestinal disorders. Everyone who signs up for the fundraising challenge abstains from top 8 allergenic foods for 24 hours. People are asked to donate towards the research. This challenge does the double work of spreading awareness about these disorders as well as raising funds for the important medical research. The cause of eosinophilic disorders are unknown still, and the prevalence of these diseases is rising, making top 8 challenge day extremely important. It is observed on August 8th every year in Australia as part of country's national EOS awareness weeks, where people raise awareness on EGIDs. EGID is an acronym for eosinophilic gastrointestinal disorders. So EGIDs are rare genetic disorders which occur when there are above average amount of eosinophils in the gastrointestinal tract. Eosinophils are a type of white blood cell that play an important role in the gastrointestinal tract, but an excess of these white cells causes problems. The name and description of the disorder depend on where in the gastrointestinal tract the eosinophils accumulate. In the esophagus, the disorder is called eosinophilic esophagitis. In the stomach, it is called eosinophilic gastritis. When the disorder occurs in the duodenum, it is called eosinophilic duodenitis. In the small intestine and the large intestine, the disorders are referred to as eosinophilic enteritis and eosinophilic colitis, respectively. Finally, among people where entire gastrointestinal tract is affected, the disorder is called eosinophilic gastroenteritis. So these EGIDs have severe effects on human body. The symptoms include difficulty swallowing, frequent vomiting, acid reflux, abdominal pain, and poor weight gain because of malabsorption of nutrition and inability to eat. Unfortunately, the disorder cannot be diagnosed based on the symptoms alone and must be diagnosed via endoscopy with biopsies. Because of how rare these disorders are, there isn't a lot of information about them, especially since the symptoms are generic and cannot be used as a basis for proper diagnosis. Not a lot is known about the causes of EGIDs, but is assumed to be responsive to allergens. SOC Inc. starts the top 8 challenge where people vote to stay away from top 8 allergens to fundraise for medical research on EGIDs in 2010. A young 10-year-old Gray spreads the word about EGIDs and the top 8 challenge by describing the difficulties her sister faced while living with an EGID in 2016. So basically, allergic reactions are believed to be the primary causes of EGIDs. And EOE is also a type of EGID. Since eosinophils are white blood cells, EGIDs are considered an autoimmune disorder. There is no cure for EGIDs. As of now, the treatment focuses on alleviating symptoms. The diet involves removing allergenic food groups one at a time, and the top 8 challenge is based on this treatment plan. EGIDs can also cause scar tissue called fibrosis. Scar tissue can form in the gastrointestinal tract as a result of EGIDs if the problem is severe. EGIDs are rare, and in Australia, the numbers are 1 in 2,000 people, but these numbers are rising every day. Eosinophilic esophagitis is the most common types of EGID, and the terms are frequently used interchangeably. Today is also commemorated as Wear Your Mother's Jewels Day in US. This day is about taking your mother's heirlooms, dusting them off, and proudly wearing them. Whether it is a necklace, a ring, or earring, or any jewelry, celebrating your mother's legacy is highlighted through the fashion pieces. Like just everyone's love for their mothers, these precious gems and jewels symbolize the invaluable love for our mothers, whether they are still living or have passed away. These priceless possessions are a stamp of honoring their memory and the sacrifices they made to raise us. So this day was founded by Barbara J. Feldman, who started this on her mom's birthday when her mom was diagnosed with dementia. She immediately realized how important memories are and how priceless time is. As her mother's condition continued to worsen, the line that connects between her and her mother's memory solely relies on physical memories and mementos. Her mom was a fashionist and a jewelry lover. One of her mother's prized possessions was this jewelry box she held dearly. Her mom collected jewelry from all over, making each piece unique and deeply memorable. By the time Barbara's mom passed away on February 25, 2017, taking care of her heirlooms became her way of coping. She regularly cleaned, repaired, and fixed each piece as a symbol of her mother's undying love. And Barbara did not just make it a solo project. She started it with other people. These acts became ways of coping for her daughters, sister, and niece. So for them, it is not about monetary value of these pieces of jewelry. It is the memory they hold. Barbara made it her life mission to celebrate the connections we have with our mothers who have passed through these tangible mementos. She started this observation as a way to immortalize the colorful life of mother and to encourage others to do the same. Today is also commemorated as Take a Penny Day, Leave a Penny Day in US. Extra change, including cents or pennies. Here, as it is called as pice, 100 pice equal to 1 rupee. In a similar way, in US, 1 penny or 100 cents or 100 pennies is equal to $1. So, extra change, including cents or pennies as they are called, are put in these containers to be used by someone short of a few coins with no access to immediate change. These little trays are not just a US-based feature. Canada has its own Take a Penny, Leave a Penny trays, at least until the penny went out of circulation in 2030. Americans called the 1 cent coin penny for a long time, probably due to popularity of the British penny, which was commonly used during the colonial era. The US penny is actually the lowest unit of American currency since the half cent was abolished way back in 1857. The British penny was roughly the same value as the American cent does. The first US cent came out in 1780s and was different from other coins in circulation today. For one, the first coins were really heavy and had a lady with flowing hair on one side who was supposed to represent Lady Liberty. And they were all usually made of pure copper. Coins continue to be minted with new designs and colors, but the first one with a real person's face on it was introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. First, public sentiment and official ones too had been strongly opposed to featuring a real person on the coin, at least until proposal mentioned Lincoln could be the honoree. The prospective response to this suggestion was marked a radical departure from previous designs, and the US has minted the Lincoln cent ever since. In the recent years, people have called for the elimination of these pennies because they are rarely used in the public, and producing them costs in US mint more than face value of the coin, which causes a loss and increases inflation too. However, the coins still in circulation today And until the day comes when they are not, we recommend you to go ahead and enjoy this day. Today is also commemorated as Scottish Wildcat Day in UK. The purpose of this day is to bring attention to the critically endangered species in the UK. It is estimated that there are about 1,000 to 4,000 Scottish wildcats, of which 400 cats meet the morphological and genetic criteria of a wildcat. These cats used to live across Britain, but now are limited to North and East Scotland. The primary threats are habitat loss, hunting, hybridization with domestic cats, and it is an opportunity to raise awareness about the endangered species. The Scottish wildcat is the only relative member of the cat family living in the UK today. It is considered to be descendant of the continental European wildcat, which colonized British after the last ice age 7,000 to 9,000 years ago. The earliest wildcat fossils were found in Berkshire after the Ice Age. The wildcat was found across mainland Britain, and some of her inner Hebrides, which include the Isle of Skye and Bute. However, due to Britain's deforestation, the wildcat disappeared from much of its range. The Scottish wildcat initially declined partly because of habitat loss, particularly the loss of forests due to deforestation, and also as a result of being hunted and persecuted for its fur. From the mid-19th century, the rate of decline of wildcats increased due to development of sporting estates in Scotland, because the wildcat was shot as part of the game bird predator control carried out on many estates. Now the Scottish wildcat is found only in northern Scotland. Today is also commemorated as OD Day, which is a famous fictional dog from the Garfield comics created by the iconic artist Jim Davis, who also appeared in 2 live fiction features and 3 CGI feature-length Garfield films. Interestingly, Odie is the only character to age in the Garfield cartoon universe. Odie is characterized as a gullible and naive dog, but he also happens to be very caring and loving. Garfield often takes advantage on Odie's gullibility by playing pranks or simply making fun of him. Nevertheless, their friendship is cherished by both adults and children. Today is also commemorated as Peasants' Day in Tanzania and aims to celebrate the farmers that keep society fed and running. This day is also known as Workers' Day, then Industries' Day, and Farmers' Day. It was originally celebrated as Saba Saba, which means 7/7. This caused a bit of confusion to the public when Farmers' Day was established on August 8. Therefore, 2 holidays and observations were combined, are now celebrated as one holiday observation, and this for general population, and a day on which people can enjoy communal meals, drinking, dancing, and music. Agriculture is very important in Tanzania. Half of the workers living in Tanzania work in the sector of agriculture, contributes to almost a third of Tanzania's gross domestic product, and accounts for 85% of exports. The largest food crop is maize, and the largest cash crop is sugar. Even though agriculture has a crucial role in the economy and prosperity of the country, it still faces challenges in terms of productivity. So it is a day to honor farmers and focus on the contribution of the sector to the country. Like other African countries that rely on farming and agriculture, it is a great opportunity to share new technologies and developments in farming, improve education, and highlight best practices. Agriculture fairs start with 8 fairs organized for August 8, starting from August 1st. Today is also commemorated as Peace Festival in Augsburg in Germany, and is the only municipal public holiday since 1950, also known as Augsburg High Peace Festival. This annual festival is only celebrated in Augsburg, a city with Roman Catholic roots that once forbade its citizens to right to practice Christian faith as Protestants. The bitter divide between Roman Catholics and Protestants has a long, ignoble history, which makes the festival or celebration even more significant, where passionate religious beliefs still lead to wars not just between nations, but within families. Today is also commemorated as National Tarantula Appreciation Day. In US, tarantulas get the center stage and take the spotlight. These are the spiders. This day aims to prove one thing: tarantulas aren't scary at all. These beautiful, elegant, and hairy spider creatures are often misunderstood. While they can look quite intimidating, they are quite gentle. What's more, they symbolize power and control. These attributes are inspiring to other people as they find their purpose in life with self-confidence, authority, and assuredness. These tarantulas have long existed on Earth from almost 120 million years, known as the mother of spider species. The first trance or trace of tarantulas have been discovered by historians. Today is also commemorated as National Sneak Some Zucchini Onto Your Neighbor's Porch Day. It's a fun day, especially in US. Those tasty zucchini plants are so rich in produce that the even most hardcore zucchini muncher will struggle to eat it all. With that in mind, this cheeky day is your chance to sneak up your neighborhood's garden path and leave a little surprise for them when they open the door. Today is also commemorated as National Pickleball Day in US. And it is the day to celebrate a fun-filled way, as it has been almost 60 years since pickleball was invented. The game combines traditional lawn tennis, ping pong, that is table tennis, and badminton. The game is played with ping pong rackets on badminton court with a tennis set. Similar to tennis, but it is less challenging. It's suitable for people of all ages. National Pickleball Day was created by a pickleball instructor, Deirdre Morris, in 2021 to encourage people to learn to play pickleball. The origins of the game of pickleball go back to Bainbridge Islands, Washington, in 1965, when an ex-congressman, Joel Pritchard, along with two other friends, Bill Bell and Barney McCallum, had just come home after a game of golf on Saturday. They found their families were bored and they decided to play a game of badminton. However, there were challenges. Firstly, there was no shuttlecock. Secondly, they did not have proper badminton rackets. So they improvised. They found a wiffle ball and used it in the place of shuttlecock. The net was lowered at the level it is in tennis. Instead of a badminton rackets, they used plywood paddles. The rest is history. Pickleball was born. Today is also commemorated as National Perler Day in US. These perler beads are the plastic fusible beads, which are from a type of plastic known as low-density polyethylene. These beads are used to make artistic pieces. The beads are arranged on pegboards to form certain figures with the help of patterns and then fused with heat from an iron. So this is an opportunity for do-it-yourself day, celebrating fun, creativity, and imagination with perler fusible beads. Today is also commemorated as National Mochi Day in US to pay tribute to the bulbous, glutinous, orbs of joy that are mochi cakes. This traditional Japanese cake has won the hearts of many around the world with its sticky, powdery texture and sweet taste. Mochi comes in different sizes and types, can be combined with other sweets such as ice cream, making it delectable treat perfect to cap off a nice meal. Prevalent in Japan as a cultural symbol, mochi comes in large varieties of forms and can be prepared differently according to different regions. The types of mochi include the round, familiar marumochi, the square kakumochi, and the shankura mochi, which is pink mochi wrapped in a pickled sakura cherry blossom leaf. Some types of mochi are consumed during specific occasions in Japan. For example, kashiwa mochi, a mochi prepared in kashiwa, that is oak leaf, in a traditional treat eaten during Children's Day on May 5th, while sakura mochi is eaten to symbolize the start of spring. Meanwhile, kakumochi is traditional Japanese household winter treat, which is heated and eaten wrapped in a piece of nori, seaweed, and dipped in soy sauce. Present types of mochi available on sale today are commonly filled with variety of paste such as azuki, red bean, and matcha green tea, black sesame, taro, and even vanilla. Other iterations also include mochi ice cream, where the soft exterior of the mochi skin blends perfectly with the cool sweetness of ice cream. Today is also commemorated as National Frozen Custard Day, which is a perfect summer treat with its smooth texture and deliciousness. The dessert is even quite simple to make, it typically prepared fresh at the place of sale. It is beloved dessert across the globe. On this day, you can get it on the fun by eating frozen custard. Alfred Bird uses corn flour instead of eggs to create the first egg-free custard. And we have both vegetarian and non-vegetarian custard, one with egg, one without egg. Corn flour replacing the egg. Today is also commemorated as National Braiders Day. Is an opportunity for reflection, advocacy, education, and celebration of cultural significance of hair braiding and the professionals who do it. Hair braiding is more than a form of style. It is culturally significant act with deepened roots in many communities. Unfortunately, braiding and braiders are often not treated with the same respect others in cosmetology fields receive and are burdened by overbearing regulation. S-Braid is sponsoring National Braiders Day as a chance to recognize thousands of braiders across the country for their talents, hard work, and contribution to cultural heritage. Today is also commemorated as International Cat Day to celebrate one of the man's most common and ancient pets, and they have been also worshipped as gods in Egypt. Cats are one of the coolest beings on the planet. They are independent, inquisitive, adventurous, have an amazing physiognomy, the power to heal by themselves at most of the time. Today is also commemorated as Happiness Happens Day in US. It's what people want most of out of life, and we are not actually looking for it. We are talking about it, spreading it, dreaming about it, or hopefully experiencing it. For many, it's goal to be happy. Then there are those who always just seem happy. Today is also commemorated as Dying to Know Day. Is all about fostering deep conversations about one thing all humans have in common, that is death. After reading a book called Dying to Know, Bringing Death to Life, an Australian organization called the Groundswell Project decided to dedicate an entire day to destigmatizing the topic of dying and educating others on how to die in a way that stays true to themselves and their wishes. The hope on this day is that we'll all accept and plan on death so that we can live even better in the present moment. Today is also commemorated as Digital Nomad Day in US, celebrates the merits and lives of those who make the world their office. As more people grow disillusioned with rigid working cultures, many are looking for ways to experience the best world has to offer while also maintaining their livelihoods. Therefore, Digital Nomad Day is a day that celebrates the remote working culture and invites those living the digital nomad lifestyle to share the multitude of benefits and expertise that come with combining travel and work. Today is also commemorated as Culturama Day in St. Kitts and Nevis. And today is also commemorated as National CBD Day in US. This is a day to celebrate and spread awareness about usage and capacities of cannabidiol, a hemp-based compound that is touched for its ability to relieve pain and anxiety. It is believed to be effective for movement and cognition-based disorders. CBD is not just useful for the humans, it is also known to be useful for dogs, particularly dogs with epilepsy. While a lot of benefits of CBD haven't proved through clinical trials, anecdotal evidence indicates CBD has a lot of benefits for people and dogs alike. CBD is a phytocannabinoid that can be internally consumed by people and dogs without any adverse effects. In fact, CBD has gained popularity over recent years because of the way it has seemed to help a lot of people with myofascial pain and mental illness like anxiety. CBD can be consumed in a lot of different forms. The most popular is CBD oil, where CBD is the only active ingredient. Other forms include CBD-dominant hemp-based oil, capsules, or prescription solutions. CBD can also be inhaled through cannabis smoke or vapor, oral administration, or an aerosol spray into the cheek. See, this is strictly used for the treatment, but people also use it as drugs to keep themselves high, which is not good for health and is also a banned substance. But as a medicine or as a drug, it is approved by FDA, approved epilepsy drug. Epidiolex is a cannabidiol based and have reported adverse effects like lethargy, sleepiness, adverse effects on the appetite, and gastrointestinal upset. So don't take it unless and until it is necessary and it is prescribed. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us. You can quickly fill the feedback form before leaving this session. See you all tomorrow at the same time, 6 o'clock. Take care. Good night.